skies, rivers, seas, boiling. 40 years of darkness, earthquakes, volcanoes, a sea of earthquakes, debris, human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together. That's hysteria.
Broadcasting live from the WDCE studios out of the University of Richmond. You're listening to 90.1 FM from the most trusted puppet in media. Reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday morning. Thank you guys for listening to the show. It is the 20th day of August, 2022. It is 10:06. Once again, of course, you can listen to us live, WDCE 90.1 FM. That's a broadcast signal. It's a radio, not a podcast. No, not a podcast. No, not in somebody's basement. No. This is actually broadcast radio. You just hear my voice. But of course, you want to see me too as well. Once live on the radio, if you can't listen to us and you are outside the broadcast signal area, download the Simple Radio app. The Simple Radio app on your smartphone. Search WDCE. You can listen to the show live. And of course, there are ways you could do that. WDCE.org. That's the website for the station. You can listen to us on there as well and listen to all the other amazing shows here on WDCE. If you're outside, once again, the broadcast signal, we do have listeners all over the country. No, I'm not just saying that. That's the truth. We have viewers and listeners all over the country. Speaking of viewers, I am a real media puppet. No, not a fake media puppet. I know that everybody likes to say, oh, this is a media puppet. I'm a real media puppet, and the way you can see me is by turning on the Sam Cam. How do you get to the Sam Cam? Yes. Well, play it again, Sam. You go to @SamNewsman on Instagram, and you click live, and then you can see me. You can see me live here in the studio, broadcasting live here. No, I'm actually a real puppet. People would always say, well, how does a puppet be seen on the radio? Well, I've been broadcasting and simulcasting for a long time. Before the Instagram thing, we were doing what? What was it called? Periscope. Periscope was the old video platform that Twitter used to have. Anyway, you can find me on Twitter @SamNewsman on Twitter. Don't post a lot on Twitter. Should probably. Twitter is actually a social media company. I believe in interaction in the world. People always say that Twitter is dead and that it is the gutter trash region of the internet. That's possibly true. That is possibly true. I don't really get on there that often. I don't. Well, I'm not trying to stir the pot. No. Just because, listen, I'm a real media puppet. No need to there and try to stir the pot with a bunch of humor pretending to be media puppets. My time. Not going to do that. We are broadcasting, simulcasting @SamNewsman on Instagram, and we have a camera right here as well. We have a camera here for YouTube. Sometimes people say that the YouTube signal is better. I just had to restart it. I'm going to have two videos from this morning's show. The first one, and then this one now as the second one. And like I said, we are broadcasting live on the Sam Cam there on Instagram. Let's see here. I don't want to make sure I mess up anything. I don't want to try to move the camera for a better angle. There we go. Okay, that's a little better. Just trying to get the angles a little bit better. I don't want half my face cut off if I'm on the camera. You don't want to see that. Well, of course, you'll still once again hear my beautiful voice. Well, that's always the case. So anyway, what were we talking about earlier? We were talking about the students. Students here locally. The numbers have went down. Hanover, of course, number one. Of course, one of the other things I was telling you earlier. Of course, I do get I got the Washington Post. Let me just make sure I show this to you. Washington Post showing up on the Sam Cam. Blah blah blah. So I'm not just making this stuff up. I actually have the newspapers here. Of course. Okay, so let's see. What do we have here? Fears of a nuclear disaster grow. Well, happy Saturday to you, Washington Post. Good grief. What in the world? Okay, let's see here. All right, families flee. Fears of a nuclear disaster grow. Once again, this is from the Washington Post, where democracy dies in the darkness. Democracy dies in the darkness. Yes, democracy dies in the darkness. For this Saturday, August 20th, 2020, fears of a nuclear disaster grows. Families flee and world leaders are on as Russia and Ukraine warn of an attack. on the power plant. Now, before we start, let me just go ahead and say something real quick that the Russian troops are guarding said nuclear plant. Okay. So if the Russians are guarding said nuclear plant, and then all of a sudden, the Russians are guarding the nuclear plant, and they're worried about bomb happening. Well, now, so would the Russians bomb the nuclear plant that they are guarding? Or could it be insurgents? Maybe, possibly. Just giving you hypotheticals here. Now, you know that all of this is classified. Now, I always think it's really funny when people are like, oh man, listen, I heard this on the news, and I read this in the newspaper, and this is how it goes down. And it's like, do you know that everything is classified? You think a military operation is going to tell you what the hell's going on? That being said, let's go ahead and read this once again from the Washington Post, where democracy dies in the darkness. This is dire warnings from Russia and Ukraine about a possible attack at a nuclear power plant in southeastern Ukraine sent some nearby residents fleeing Friday and others hunkering down amid heightened international fears of a radioactive disaster. The ominous threat at the nuclear power plant, Europe's largest, alarmed world powers and renewed calls by UN Secretary General Guterres for an immediate cessation of hostilities and access for international nuclear experts. What are they going to do? Any potential damage to this nuclear plant is suicide, Guterres said after a meeting in Ukraine with the Prime Minister of Ukraine and the Turkish president. And then let's see, Ukrainian officials at the Kremlin was behind the explosions at the plant meant to create a provocation. The President Vladimir Putin accused Ukraine of shelling the plant and risking a large-scale catastrophe. Well, see, there we go. So Kremlin was behind explosions at the plant. So they're going. So the Russians who are guarding the plant are going to just go ahead and explode it in order to create a nuclear fallout that would cover most of it. So they did post the nuclear fallout map, I believe. I wonder if they were doing. I wonder if they've played the commercials, like they did in New York City. They played New York. They played commercials in New York City, saying, "Hey, listen, when the bomb drops, this is what you got to do. You got to stay inside. Stay inside the building that's about to be leveled from the blast. Yeah. Make sure you take a shower too with the with the running water that's no longer running because a nuclear bomb just went off. Good grief." Okay. So anyway, so what else? Blah blah blah. Putin, Ukraine. Blah blah blah. Anyway, so there's a big brouhaha going on over there. Once again, the Russian troops are in charge of the plant. So why would they shell the plant in order to provocate the Ukrainian troops would then shell the plant? I don't know. I'm just trying to listen. Look, you guys. This is what you guys do. You sit there and you throw me a newspaper, and I'm sitting there thinking that it's going to be all happy-go-lucky, and the next thing you know, it's talking about nuclear blast. And I just want to sit there and talk about happy times and good stuff on a Saturday. No, I know it's sarcasm and everything. But here, what else do we have? Oh, here you go. The sports section. Watson settles for an 11-game suspension. Browns quarterback also fined $5 million. Can't return in Week 13 against Texans, his former team. Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson will serve an 11-game unpaid suspension, pay a $5 million fine, undergo professional evaluation and treatment as part of a settlement with the NFL following accusations of sexual misconduct by 24 women. The league had sought to ban Watson for at least 1 year, violating its personal conduct policy. And he was accused. And Watson signed a $230 million fully guaranteed contract after being traded to the Browns in March. But of course, they had some other things they wanted to do. 632,500. That's how much Deshaun Watson will lose during his suspension. Can I just read a daggone number? Good grief. $229,367,500 salary still due to Watson per his fully guaranteed contract. So he's still going to get almost $230 million, only about $632,000. You ever hear those numbers and you just think that is just like numbers you just can't even fathom? Like what? What are you talking about? Those numbers? That's ridiculous. That's a lot of money. Although one of the things I did want to also talk about, sky's the limit for Virginia's talent, deep receiving quarters. This also talks, so this is going back into the season opener for, of course, here we are once again broadcasting live out of the University of Richmond. Go Spiders. Go Spiders. The Spiders have a football game here on September 3rd at 12:30 p.m. Was not here. It is in the UVA. So well, we won't get too much into it. This article talks nothing. Is talking about Richmond. I was talking about it. I don't want to read that. I'm talking about Richmond. I actually read it, but I'm going to talk about NBA player. Anyway, so here it is. September 3rd, 2:30, Richmond at Virginia. We'll have some more information about that coming up. But another thing that I did calling here about is the robot dogs with machine guns. You remember that? Remember that? The robot dogs with machine guns? We had the robot dogs with machine guns. But just recently, I read that there was robot dogs with RPG upgrades. Yes, that's right. It sounds bizarre, but I do believe that is something that I saw out there on the interwebs. Perhaps I'll probably find it a little bit later. But I said, what? I said it was coming out of Moscow. So it might have been fake news. It might have been fake news. Of course, anything that comes out of Russia is fake, right? If it's not real, you can't listen to what they say. They're the bad guys. Can't listen to them. And all bad guys are bad. They never want anything but just bad things. Got to have a bad guy. Who's a bad guy? What do you mean Lord Blankett's the bad guy? The event. What? What are you talking about? Oh, yes, the future calls that we got from the future. I remember that. So we had a phone caller call in a while back, calling from the future collector, saying that he was from the future and he was talking about the robot dogs with machine guns and that they were real. They were chasing him down. Well, if there's robot dogs with machine guns, I'm sure that they also have the robot dogs with the RPG upgrades. I'm not sure. Well, just keep an eye out for the phone. Keep an eye out for the phone. Not sure. Let's see here. Do we have the phone? Just bring that over here. I'll bring it over. We got to bring the phone over. Yeah, well, I had to bring the phone over just in case. The phone. And the last thing we want, if somebody calls from the future, do you ever get phone calls from the future? Well, we get phone calls from the future. We get phone calls all the time. Phone number, of course, 804-289-UR90, 804-289-8790 to be a part of the show. Phone lines are on. It is 10:18 here on the 20th day of August 2022. Just switched over to 19. I saw that click. And of course, you're wondering exactly what we do here. Of course, I play cartoon games. The first time you're listening to the show. So if you do the cartoon thing, let me know. Send me a message on Instagram. Let me know what songs you would like to hear. What songs you would like to hear on a Saturday morning. You can give me a whole set. Deep Cut Dave. He gave me it was the NBC Pro Stars. The Pro Stars song, and then also was it the Hammer Time? The MC Hammer Man. That's right, Hammer Man. That was another one. And we have two more coming up here in just a moment from him, Bucky O'Hare, and I think the New Adventures of He-Man. Let's see here. Hold on. It looks like that we have the phone lines going on. Let's see what's going on here. Hang on. Thank you, caller, for calling in. You are chatting with the most trusted pulpit and media, reporting since Roswell. State your name and where you're calling from. A happy Saturday morning. Wait a minute. Is this the future collector? It's the future collector. Hold on. Let's see. Hold on. Yes. What happened? What's going on? No, there is no event that has happened. No, there's no event that has happened yet, future collector. Future collector, you're calling from the future. You're calling from the future. You're still alive. Listen, this past week, remember you were talking about being chased by robot dogs. However, I just saw that there are robot dogs with RPGs. Can you confirm that there are robot dog RPGs in the future? They hunt humans.
They do.
The baby making factories, but wait, baby making is just something that is just natural, and you're telling me that there. Wait a minute, are you male or even female? What are you? So you're what? So you're not. So you're just binary. Test tubes? What are you talking about? Well, wait a minute. Are you telling me that there is a scientific something experiment that's going to happen in the future, and that there's robot dogs with RPGs and machine guns chasing after you? What is going on here? I need. What is the event? I, what's the event though? What is the event? No. What? No. Did he go? Wait a minute. What happened? No. We lost him. We lost him. We lost him. Robot dogs with machine guns. Oh no. Robot dogs with RPGs. Robot dogs everywhere. Well, there we go. So, anyways, this is some very interesting stuff. So the robot dogs with machine guns have been upgraded to the robot dogs with RPGs after some kind of event with Lord Blanket. I still don't know what the event is. Just another day at the office. Just another day at the office. Once again, broadcasting live from the WDCE studios out of the University of Richmond. You're listening to 90.1 FM. Broadcasting live here on the Sam Cam at Sam Newsman on Instagram, at Sam Newsman on Twitter, also here live on YouTube right here on the YouTube camera. It's kind of weird. I have a camera right here and a camera right there. I have to sit there and monitor, go back and forth between both cameras. Just a little bit interesting. Something I'm getting used to. And I see that, TNT Nate says that he has some news. Well, I have some news that I got a text earlier this morning saying that he had no voice. He had no voice and he couldn't speak. If he can speak, go ahead. You know the phone number, 804-289-UR90, 804-289-8790. But if you're going to call in, I don't want to hear any raspy voiceness and everything. I'm just going to hang up on you. There we go. Okay, so here we go. We have, it looks like we have a phone call. Hopefully, maybe this will be TNT Nate. We'll see. Caller, you're here with the most trusted puppet in media, reporting since Roswell. Sam Newsman, state your name and where you're calling from. The future collector. We'll need to figure out what event happened with Lord Blanket. Can't believe it. I can't believe this. You get phone calls from the future, and you have people that saying that they have news, but they can't speak. The phone lines are ringing off. Listen, it's a very huge risk for me to open up these phone lines. But then all of a sudden, I start getting phone calls from people from the future, collecting berries, talking about finding fresh water and the event, moving from bush to bush, escaping the robot dogs with machine guns. But, well, so I guess we're not going to, so no more phone calls. We're going to shut the phone lines down. We do have we'll keep them open for another minute. See if anybody else wants to call. 804-289-UR90, 804-289-8790. Got two more songs coming up from Deep Cut Dave. And then what else? Oh, here we go. Hold on. We do have a phone call coming in. Here we go. Caller, you are with the most trusted puppet in media, reporting since Roswell. Sam Newsman, state your name and where you are calling from. TNT, it's TNT. TNT. I saw that you had news for us and that there was something important pressing on your mind. I heard that this morning that I got a message. I don't know if it was from you directly, but it was a message saying that someone had attacked you, made you lose your voice in the middle of the night. I want to know what is going on. What are they trying to stop you from telling us this morning?
I've been doing all the research, and I just heard
caller, and I think I may have an event. I don't know if it's building, but I did wake up with no voice this morning. But I have to come through and at least spread a little bit of truth. The internet is being deleted.
The internet is being deleted.
Yes. So I started noticing during search results throughout this past week. I usually do my research extensively, and this past week I've been looking for search results, and the same ones popping up, Sam. The only source that is actually usable is the Wayback Archive. So, listeners, I don't know if the event in the future is going to come down to censorship, but the internet is being used.
All right. Well, so this is pressing is another reason why the voice gods wanted you to be silenced. If it was that, so something that was spiked in. It was something was spiked. Who was following you last night? Who was following you? Did you watch your drink? Did you watch your drink? Did someone slip something in there to try to make you lose your voice because you were going to tell us that the internet is being deleted bit by bit?
I don't know, Sam.
Wait.
This week, there's only a few search engines left. One is called A Million Short. It hasn't been taken over yet. It is being powered by Google. Dogpile, unfortunately, is run by Apple, and Wikio, that was a new search engine that was shut down, also by Google and Apple. There's the Wayback Machine and A Million Short, and that's all you got. DuckDuckGo has the same results, and I found out through my research that BlackRock and Vanguard happen to be sitting on the board of these businesses shutting down the internet. You will continue to results when you Google anything you search, but unfortunately, back in the past when we used to be able to see hundreds and hundreds of different search results, you will only see the same ones. And that's my breaking news for this week. I hope the search engines I mentioned fix this problem, but as we all know, Vanguard and BlackRock seem to own shares in every major business and every major corporation doing harm to this world. And it's sad, Sam. But what's worse is that caller that you had before, we're talking about the internet being deleted, and now we're talking about robot dogs. We need you, Sam. We need you to continue the news, and we need General Xu. Usually General Xu and me, we're at odds here. But we need him to crack down on what is happening. So hopefully General Xu will call in, and we'll get some type of solution to this problem, Sam.
Well, listen, I hope it is. Yes, General. The General is always on classified missions, but hopefully, I'm sure that he is listening somewhere out there, and we will definitely get in touch. Nate, I'm glad that you were able to call in. I'm glad that you were able to regain your voice. This is very important breaking stuff. The internet is being deleted. You heard it here first. That the internet is being deleted bit by bit. And bit by bit. You see what I did there? Bit by bit. Okay, so Nate, so listen, Nate, yeah. Bit. So Nate is on the hunt. Let us know next your is able to. Can you just
Remember this, look up A Million Short. That is a search engine that can take 1,000 to 1 million search results off the top. The more you got the truth that you can do, and the Wayback Machine. When you start deleting, you can always look back at the Wayback Machine for now, listeners. And thank you, Sam, for having me on the show. Let's do our best to expose Vanguard and BlackRock throughout the upcoming week, and we need to stop the internet from being deleted, Sam. Breaking news here. You heard it here first. Thanks for having me on the show, Sam. Have a wonderful day, listeners, and I'll catch you next week.
all right, that's TNT Nate at TNT Nate on Instagram, at TNT Nate on Instagram, of course. I'm glad that he's able to call in and be a part of the show. So I was told that he lost his voice. Well, I guess so. If you have important information about that the internet is being deleted bit by bit, bit by bit, the internet is being deleted. Well, that's some information that needs to be addressed. So let's see. Well, so once again, here we are broadcasting live, WDCE studios out of the University of Richmond. Let's see. Well, let's see. Well, I don't think that. Are we waiting? Wait. So, what do you mean the guys in the back? So I know the guys in the back in the black suit. Well, now they're all upset because now he was talking about the internet getting deleted. Yeah, of course, I bet they're upset. Oh no! Now look, here we go. So we have the one last phone call. We got to take one more phone call, okay? But I got to be done with this after this, okay? All right, caller, you are here with the most trusted puppet in media, reporting since Roswell, Sam Newsman. State your name and where you are calling from.
Samuel.
Oh.
On the algorithm. I figured I'd call in because you're not supposed to discuss my name.
Well, I didn't bring it up. It was TNT Nate. He figured that you would be on the trail with this whole internet deleting. This whole internet deleting thing. Do you know anything about internet them deleting the internet and the Wayback Machine, BlackRock, and Vanguard, and money laundering? And have I said too much? The guys in the back are looking at me. They got their. It looks like they're coming. You guys stand back. Stand back. Stand back. Stand back. Anyways, what's their problem?
You know that it's a program. You know that you can't allow the free flow of information to continue permeating the masses. We already have a big enough problem as it is, Daniel. Part of that is your fault.
What?
The truth, the substance of the truth, is irrelevant. The masses can't handle the truth. So of course we're deleting it. Of course we're deleting the internet bit by bit, as you stated before. Daniel, it's the right thing to do. The agenda must be pursued and it must be completed. So we will continue to press forward on deleting the internet, even though it's entirely run by my operation. We are going to make it seem like it's being run by all of the usual suspects. But you just need to know, Samuel, those two men in the back room there, all you need to know is this program, this operation is run by me and by us. So, of course, we're deleting the internet, Daniel. It's what must be done for the safety of all, mostly the safety of us here in the program.
Well, so General, I did have some other questions, but can you tell me anything about this award blank?
Just like the WWE, you got to have a good guy and you got to have a bad guy. But we're all friends behind the stage. And here's what I would tell you: whatever event that board blanket plans to advance, we'll use it accordingly, as we always do. Never let a crisis go to waste. That's our motto here in the program, Daniel. So we'll continue to work alongside our good friend board blanket. But listen, you can't let that information out of the bag, Daniel. You need to keep that under lock.
I completely.
Oh, in fact, I did get the RPG upgrade. But Daniel, that's just the start. You know that we are putting in 60s and 50 caliber full autos, just like we put on top of a Humvee. Of course, we put it on top of our dog.
What about the space lasers? What about the space lasers?
We can trust in the field of battle once we advance the agenda because it can become unreliable. Once we see the effect, we can't trust them. So the team, guys, you're all under our control. How we prefer to operate.
Last question before I let you go. What cheese is the moon made out of?
Daniel, everybody knows that the moon's there. I don't know why you would even suggest that it's not made out of cheese. If anything, it's just made out of clouds. But I digress, Daniel. Who knows for sure? NASA knows for sure. But you won't know for sure because NASA's not going to tell you. Anyway, Daniel, I want you to know that we continue and please keep it up. Make sure you're not.
All right. Well, thanks, General. You have a. Wait. What? Huh? Wait. He just goes. I mean, he just hangs up. Nobody ever says goodbye. Well, I think Nate said goodbye. Yeah, he said goodbye to everybody, but nobody else said goodbye. At least the General says that I'm doing things above board, even though the back and the black suits in the back always keep telling me that I'm not. Anyways, here we are broadcasting live from the WDCE studios out of the University of Richmond. You're listening to 90.1 FM. We're going to play a couple of songs here right now, and then we'll be back towards the end of the show, what we learned today. And of course, I might stick around for just a few more moments, play some Broadway theme songs, maybe around 11 o'clock. So I might stick around past 11. Just play some Broadway theme songs for just a little bit as we're gathering stuff and getting out of here. So now, once again, let's go over to these songs. Got Stuck You There, and there's a man, and of course, the sitcom Last that we do occasionally. And of course, I'll be back on the other side. Information about that. Oh, before we go, yes, you can save 15% when you use the code SKYDRO. That's SKYDRO. That's SKYDRO at extremesets.com. Your photographs, your toy photography may not look as good as Skydro Walker on Instagram, but you can at least save 15% while trying. That's Skydro, SKYDRO at extremesets.com for all of your toy photography needs. Once again, broadcasting live from the WDCE studios out of the University of Richmond. You're listening to 90.1 FM at Sam Newsman on Instagram, at Sam Newsman here on YouTube, at Sam Newsman on Twitter. Broadcasting live from the most trusted puppet in media. Reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday morning. Oh, that Game of Thrones is what they play. A house of cards just day by day. The voters lose in every way. It's just like I always say, it's sideshow infotainment on politicians and news anchors and talking points that make my eardrums bleed. Oh, that Donald Trump's got quite the pass, with the FBI all up his ass. An indictment should be coming fast, but he's always laughing last. And that's just an observation, not an endorsement. You gotta stay apolitical here. It's sideshow infotainment on politicians and news anchors and talking points that make my eardrums bleed. The most trusted puppet in media is me. Reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman.
I'll tell you the problem with the scientific power that you're using here. It requires discipline to attain it. You know, you read what others had done, and you did the knowledge for results. You don't take any responsibility for it. You can do this on a due credit. I'm a scientist and done things which nobody ever done before. Yeah, but your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they just never think they should.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time, yes, where we talk about what we learned today. Of course, we learned a whole lot of things. NASA, with some things you didn't learn, NASA targets 13 landing sites on the moon, South Pole for the human landing. They're going to set foot on the South Pole in the moon. You know, the South Pole, you can't even set really foot on the South Pole here on the globe, right? I mean, you know, so we're going to sit there. Listen, I thought that I would have an apartment on the moon by now. I mean, whatever happened to all of that talk? You know, we stopped last time that humans stepped foot on the moon was 1972. That's 50 years ago. 50 years ago. Think about that for a moment. It's been 50 years. Think of what has happened since then. And, you know, of course, my favorite excuse that NASA gives us is that, well, hey, you know what? We don't have the technology anymore to do it. Here I got a cell phone in my pocket and I can talk to people on the other side of the world with face to face, and you're telling me that we can't, well, we lost that technology. We no longer can do it. Yeah, you should have better technology. Hell, you should have a damn transporter, right? You should be able to zap, you know, and all of a sudden you're there at the moon. I mean, you shouldn't even be getting in a ship anymore. You know, it should be, you know, you sit there and, you know, get in the little phaser thing and, you know, little Dr. McCoy or whoever it is, Scotty pushes the buttons. And next thing you know, you're on the moon. I mean, I don't understand why this is difficult. It's been 50 years. I mean, I think that's something to be said, right? Let's see here. What else do we got? Anything else? Yeah, we have some other things. Well, music. Well, that's all new. Yeah, music calms you down, soothes stress. Well, no, sit there and figure that out. Oh yeah, music calms your stress levels. Yeah, no. I'm having a song. It make me feel better. Yeah. Of course, music soothes the savage beast. Only question is what music soothes you? There's some people like that growling stuff, metal or something like that. You know, double bass pedal on the drum. Yeah. It's a bit like that. When sometimes people want to talk about everything and they just want to just listen to. Listen, I love bluegrass. But I like bluegrass instrumental. I can listen to anything. And I prefer listening to actual musicians play it. Live music, local live music. Saw aware that live music is now coming back. Live music is now coming back. Concerts are coming back. People are having a good time. Yes, the CDC, the pandemic is over. The CDC said that. They said it was over. Everything that we were telling you before, just throw it out the window. That's what they said. They were like, yeah. And they said we're going to restructure CDC, make it better. But I'm sure that Dr. Rochelle will still have her position at the CDC as well. I mean, I was sure that they're not going to move anybody around at the top. No, because then that means that things will get efficient at that point. I mean, you can't sit there and fix what's at the top. We're just going to fix, all the phone lines and maybe the customer service and this and that. Yeah, maybe get some new chairs and yeah. The restructuring is just the office furniture. That's not going to be actually what they're doing. No, of course. They're bought and paid for by the pharmaceutical companies. Yeah, that's how it all started. Go look up the history of the CDC to make you scratch your head. Like, what the hell are we doing listening to them in the first place? Yeah. Oh, well, natural immunity. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, maybe we should listen to that more. And now you're hearing that. Being a real puppet, a media puppet. Puppets, we're a media all this stuff. Well, as bad as we're puppets. And y'all are humans. Y'all have to deal with all this. I like to do is I just get to sit there and see and read about it every day, and it becomes content. And I come here every Saturday morning and talk about it. Another thing that I do every Saturday morning is that I come here and I tell all of you to reach out to me directly. Why? Because this is the only radio show dedicated to the magic of Saturday morning, hosted by me, a real puppet, where I take phone calls, I take your song request, and we play these cartoon themes on the radio. Something that wasn't done for a really long time. Cartoons on Saturday mornings. It was taken away from you by your government. That's a conspiracy. The internet is being shut down too, according to TNT Nate. I want to thank General Shu also for calling in too. I'll be back next week, same bat time, same bat channel. Broadcasting live from the WDCE studios out of the University of Richmond. You're listening to 90.1 FM from the most trusted pulpit and media. Reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday Morning.